Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, moments ago unveiled the federal government's plans for the aviation sector. Let's take a look.
At the 7th edition of the Aviation Africa Summit and Exhibition 2023, Nigeria is honored to have these distinguished captains of the aviation industry and industry stakeholders from all over the world who are participating in this event to discuss trends, innovations, opportunities, and challenges in the African aviation sector. As you are all aware, air transport remains an essential component of the global transportation system and is a crucial driver of economic, social, and cultural development worldwide. Air transport generates economic growth and development, provides jobs, and fosters a range of socio-economic benefits. In order to continue to harness and maximize the benefits of air transport in Africa, it is essential and expedient to continue to promote collaboration, knowledge sharing, and business development within African aviation community that would practically address all the significant and structural challenges. Having this unique and important event for the 7th time demonstrates the organizers' determination and interest to support sustainable development of air transport in Africa. I therefore wish to take this opportunity to appreciate Times Aerospace Limited, who has been the champion of the Aviation Summit, as well as making Nigeria the first country to host this noble event in West Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the recent global events further expose the immense contribution and importance of air transportation as a catalyst for economic development, vital engine of global socio-economic growth, one of the greatest contributors to the advancement of modern society, and a key instrument for achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs goals. These underscore why the world was greatly impacted when international aviation was disrupted by the pandemic and other global occurrences. It is the vision of this current administration to make Nigeria the aviation hub of Africa. I repeat that again for emphasis. It is our determination to make Nigeria the aviation hub of Africa. In order to attract foreign investors, the government is already looking at the following areas to improve aviation business in Nigeria. And I invite all of you to please participate, help Nigeria, cooperate with Nigeria, partner with Nigeria to make this possible. These are the areas we're looking at. Upgrading our infrastructure. For emphasis or elaboration, this includes upgrading the Cat 3 landing system at major airports, construction of the 2nd runway in Abuja, which is about to commence right now, airport improvement programs through concession, and government willingness to partner with companies to turn major airports into aerotropolis. We actually have that as part of our roadmap right now, the aerotropolis, and we'll begin with Abuja here. We have secured the sites, we've secured enough land for it. We have a master plan for the aerotropolis, and we invite the world, we invite everybody to come and partner with us in developing our aerotropolis. So we are looking at the aircraft leasing company. It's part of the roadmap. Government welcomes major players in aircraft leasing and head leases to invest in Nigeria Airlines to provide state-of-the-art aircraft. Government will ensure enforcement of contract agreements and that rights of investors and indeed authorities are protected. And Nigeria, being a signatory to the Cape Town Convention, will uphold its international obligations. The third area is aircraft maintenance organization. Maintenance, repair, and overhaul, popularly known as the MRO facility, is another critical aspect that can make the Nigerian aviation industry a hub on the continent. It is rather surprising. I don't want to use words that are more degrading, but it's rather surprising that in the whole of West Africa, there's no world-class MRO facility. As busy, as populated as West Africa is, we don't have that. Nigeria should take the lead to establish world-class MRO facilities to prevent us from going all over the world to line up with our aircraft for months just to get some C-check done on our aircraft. We have to go and line up months all over the world. We need to turn that around in West Africa, and Nigeria should take the lead. So that is something we are taking very seriously, and we invite the world to partner with us. With the shortage of qualified engineers, the current administration is willing to provide all the necessary support for the establishment of world-class MROs and training organizations. We also look at the area of forex availability. The current administration is aware that one of the setbacks entrepreneurs have suffered in Nigeria in recent years is the fluctuation of foreign exchange and its availability. And then we do apologize, it has affected, most of the airlines that we have bases with, in Nigeria. It's one of the issues we actually went to sort out in the UAE. But this administration is committed to ensuring that forex is readily available to entrepreneurs, and I have directed, that's the president, I'm reading the president's speech, I've directed the Central Bank of Nigeria host quarterly reconciliatory meetings with a view to resolve this issue. Tax holidays. Current administration is open to provide tax holidays to encourage existing and new entrants into the Nigerian aviation sector. For now, even for those who are local operators here, we have tax holidays and even duty-free in respect of spare parts and some other, parts that they are imported to fix their aircrafts. It's one of those incentives, and those incentives will increase as time goes on. I wish to reiterate that my administration will continue to sustain the support being given to the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe that as key players and decision makers, this summit will provide the required atmosphere for you to discuss and identify recovery strategies that would attract private investors to support the funding of infrastructure projects by building a transparent, stable, and predictable investment climate, as well as include aviation in the continent's national development plans. It is now my special honor to formally declare the 7th edition of the Aviation African Summit and Exhibition 2023 open.
We now link up with our Abuja studio, where our Rise Aviation correspondent Omo Bazwaye is ready and set to speak with Isaac Balami, Chief Executive Officer, 7-Star Group. Good to see you, Omo.
Good to hear from you as well. It's it's been very interesting. I mean, being inside the hall and listening all the way to what the Honorable Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, had to say, and standing on that global platform to unveil the roadmap for his ministry to the rest of the world and inviting them to come and join in what he says is going to be described as being a very massive roadmap, which for me, I think it's also very impressive and, you know, an ambitious one, but with the right kind of character and maybe mindset. It might not be impossible for the minister to be able to achieve the promises which he had made right in front of his global, you know, audience this afternoon. I heard him talking about setting up converting some of the major airports in the country into aeropolis, and also providing forex, you know, to airlines in the country. It's been a major, you know, issue setback for most of them, you know, and that has also been, may explain as well why we have been having a real price hike in air travel tickets, you know, around the country. He talked extensively on so many other things, especially on the issue of maintenance, repair, and overhaul, you know, and where he said that looking around the entire landscape of West Africa, that it's a little bit sad that there are no world-class, you know, maintenance service center, and as such, the country and other operators around the West African sub-region have had to be taking their aircraft out of the region and line them up for months before they could get repaired. He also spoke about the issue of the quality of engineers, the lack of qualified engineers, and that they will work towards that. Right now, I have with me the CEO of 7-Star Group, and 7-Star Group is the owner of 7-Star Global.
7-Star Global Hangar, 7-Star Global Airline.
Good.
And now we have the Isaac Balami University of Aeronautics starting next month. Yeah.
You have been here, you've seen how this summit has been going.
Yeah.
First of all, let me ask you, what is your impression about this exhibition and summit? Is it meeting up to your expectation? Excellent.
This is the 7th edition in Africa, and I would say this is the first time that Nigeria is hosting such an important exhibition or Aviation Africa event. We are quite excited, and we're here with our whole team, 7-Star Hangar, 7-Star Airline, and our partners. We're here. I think the whole idea is just to network, to show the entire African aviation sector what we do, what we intend to do, you know, to the world. You can see Airbus is here, Gulfstream is here, Boeing is here, all the aircraft manufacturers are here, and here we are. And it's been exciting so far. Yeah.
I had 1.4 billion African on the continent, and that less than about 2% of that population really have access to air travels. And a lot of people have complained and said that that is a far cry. What do you think can be done to increase air flight connectivity within the African sub-region?
Well, I think the African single window, the issue is the African heads of state or head of governments need to really, if we say that the African Union is one, we need to be one truly. I see Nigerians struggling, or other people from other parts of Africa struggling to even come into Nigeria, or Nigerians being humiliated in other African countries. These are part of the problems, right? But above all is actually the purchasing power. You can't give what you don't have. In the US, for example, over 60% of their population flies. And if you have about 60% of their populations flying, in Nigeria, we're just about 10% plus. Nothing. Of course, it's worse with other African countries, and that's why, you know, average of the entire continent is about just 2%. It's not actually encouraging, and I think it's because the African government have not looked inward. Today, take Emirates Airline out of Dubai, Dubai will start going down. And sometimes there was a time when even Emirates operated for no profit, so without profit for a long time. But they look at the fact that Emirates is there to bring in people. When you come into Dubai, you are transiting, you are doing duty-free, you are checking into a hotel, you're on transit, and the Dubai government is making money from VAT and so many other things.
So you're telling me now that Nigeria can reasonably increase its gross domestic product?
We can by looking into the industry. We have Bank of Industry, we have Bank of Agri, we don't have Bank of Aviation. And if aviation is key, if aviation is a catalyst to the growth of the nation, Nigeria, and Africa in its entirety, then there's a need for the Nigerian government. We've been shouting it since when I was a president for 8 years. We shouted it. So these are the issues,
So what more do you think? What more do you think can be done to? Do you think there's a need for those in the aviation sector to be speaking to others in other sectors?
There's more. I think the government knows what to do. They've promised to do it, but they're not doing it yet. It's simple as that. And let me tell you this. There's no way people will come from Europe or from Ethiopia or within Africa or from America or from Middle East to build our aviation sector in Nigeria. They will not do it. If you see any foreign company coming, they're just coming to get what they can get. It is Nigerians that will build and fix Nigeria. It is not foreigners. So if, for example, I'll tell you this, during COVID, airlines were shut down. 7-Star Global Hangar has over about 70 licensed, type-rated aircraft engineers from Boeing, Airbus, Gulfstream, Embraer, Sikorsky, Augusta 139, Bell Helicopters, local, all of us, including myself, trained in the US, Canada, UK, first class, back home, working here. When they gave palliative for the entire aviation sector, we are the biggest aircraft maintenance, repair and overhaul center across the entire West and Central Africa. We didn't get 1,000 naira. But the Car Hire Association in the airport got 200 million naira. These are the issues. The priorities are not there. The people in charge are not being advised properly, and these are major problems.
Isaac, I'm sorry, I have to go now.
Yes.
Thank you so very much for joining Arise.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
And Omar, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you so much for that.